Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will. I'm here in my backyard in Key West, Florida. Had a really cool thing happen the other day. Well, cool for me. Aaron and I had a subscriber come down. He was supposed to go out on the boat with Aaron, but weather was bad. His name's Brent. He was coming from Louisiana. And he hit us up and he said, well, since we're not going out on the boat because the weather's bad, can you guys meet up with me? I have something for you. And, you know, of course, not knowing someone, you go, what could it be? I wonder. But what Brent brought me was a bag of Louisiana dried shrimp. These are incredible. You can eat them as is. It's almost like shrimp beef jerky. It's a friend of his, Louisiana dried shrimp, packed by Price Seafood, Chauvin, Louisiana. It's a buddy of his that catches them and they dry them out, so he gets them by the pound or whatever, and he brought me and Aaron a bag. So I want to use them, and it got me to thinking, in Louisiana there's a huge Sicilian population. There's also a huge Vietnamese population, and the Vietnamese use this a lot in their food. But I'm going to use it in a Sicilian dish. It's something we've done before on the channel, but I want to revisit it because it's one of my favorite things in the world, and that's arancini. Arancini is Sicilian rice balls. So we're going to make shrimp Sicilian rice balls. Let's go. All right, so buddy Brent came down from Louisiana, and he brought us dried Louisiana shrimp. Your friend does these?
My friend, yep.
Okay. Hey, you got the plant in your head there.
I'm sorry.
And he brought these down for me and Aaron, so we're going to make something really good with these. Thanks a lot, man.
No problem, man.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Y'all enjoy the videos, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with arancini, it translates to little oranges because after they're fried, they look like perfect little oranges. What they are is risotto that's been cooked, cooled down, rolled into a ball, breaded, and deep fried. By no means is this a healthy dish, but it is a delicious dish. So what we need to make first is the stock to make our risotto. So I'm going to use the dried shrimp, and again, huge thank you to Brent. Man, for a guy who got his fishing trip canceled, you were in good spirits, and you have no idea. This is so cool. So I'm going to put a very generous amount of these inside there. Now those are salted already. Yeah, you can eat them as is. They're delicious. I mean, really, really good. Now I'm going to add water to make our stock. This is going to be a very, very simple stock. And now, since they are already salted, just a little bit of salt. And what I have here is probably the biggest bag of, wait, it's escaping me. Why can't I think of the word? Saffron. It's the biggest bag of saffron anyone's ever seen. Someone actually got this for me in Turkey, because in the United States, that would be probably about $200 worth of saffron. So I'm gonna put a little bit of saffron with the shrimp. This is gonna turn our stock a golden yellowish color, which then in turn is gonna turn our risotto into a beautiful golden yellow color. So when you break open that arancini, it's just gonna look, it's gonna look unreal. So a little pinch of saffron. And we're gonna bring this up to a boil, down to a simmer, and let it simmer for at least 20 minutes to really reconstitute those shrimp. We're gonna pull the shrimp out, put them aside, and then add them to our risotto later. So now we wait. Brought this up to a boil. Now I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer. And that, the color of it already from the shrimp and the saffron, just lightly golden yellow, and the shrimp look, they look amazing. These are going to be good arancini. So I'm going to grab a lid, throw a lid on that, 20 minutes. We'll pull all the shrimp out and then we'll get started on a risotto. We're ready. I tasted the broth. Nice, has a little bit of a shrimpy flavor, nothing over the top. It's got a good salt level. I added just a pinch more salt to it, but we are good to go. All right, now to start my risotto, I have my arborio rice. The reason why you use arborio rice is because it has a higher starch content. And the more you stir it, the more that starch breaks down, releases out, and that's how you get the creaminess of risotto. So arborio rice, you don't need to rinse it because you want all the starch on there, the opposite of sushi rice. And then I just have an onion and some garlic. So we'll chop up the onion. I have my pan going on low heat. Add a little bit of olive oil, about a third of the onion. Then we'll chop them up into a fine dice and straight into the pan, which is already heating up. And it's okay if it's not hot because we want to sweat those very slowly, no color. And I'll do 2 cloves of garlic. And in goes the garlic. A little more salt. And we'll sweat these down for about 3-4 minutes. Onion and garlic's looking good. Now we put in our rice. And now we want to toast the rice and start the process of breaking down that starch. So keep it moving. And we'll do this for about a minute or so, maybe even 2 minutes. Risotto is a labor of love in general. It is a slow process. You do it on low heat. You add 1 scoop of stock at a time, give it a stir, and you keep going very slow until it's the right amount of al dente and then the right amount of liquid inside the risotto to make it nice and creamy and still the rice has some bite. Now add that to making arancini. It's a lot of work. But man, when you're done, it is worth it. I swear it is worth it. Now that my rice is toasted, I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. And I have my stock here. We're gonna go 1 ladle at a time. And now you just stir until that liquid is gone. And add another ladle, and then another ladle, and another ladle. You don't want your heat up. You don't want your heat up too high because it'll evaporate all of the stock before the rice has a chance to soak it up. So you really want to keep it on a very happy medium heat to where you still have heat, but you're not just completely losing all that stock to steam. We're getting close. I would say we got about another ladle or 2 and our risotto is done, and then we're gonna add in a little bit of red pepper chili flakes, some parsley, maybe a little bit of shallot, and our shrimp back in. Oh, and very important, Parmesan cheese. Risotto is looking beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And now Perfect. Perfect. I want the rice a little bit firm because we're still deep frying this. So remember that. Now I'm gonna add, even though that's pretty much done, I'm gonna add just a little more stock while we add our other things, because I'm gonna add Parmesan cheese, and that's gonna tighten everything up. So that little bit of stock will be very helpful. God, why is risotto so good? It's so good. All right, so I have here crushed red pepper flakes, some parsley, and a pat of butter. So put that in. Now our Parmesan cheese. All right, now I've shut off my heat. For those of you that are new to the channel, I live next to an army base and the fighter jets fly over all day. So I have to do this quickly in between takeoffs and landing. Now, add back a good amount of my shrimp. We'll give that a quick taste for seasoning. Nice, spicy. The parsley brightens it up a bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit of lemon juice to really brighten it up, because this, it's heavy. I mean, they're belly bombers. So anything you can do to kind of give the illusion that they're lightened up, do it. There's our shrimp risotto. Now I have to lay this out in a pan. You could do a cookie sheet, lay it out in the cookie sheet, put it in the fridge. This has to go in the fridge at least for 30 minutes till it's completely cooled down. Then we can take it and form our balls. So I'm gonna put this in a pan, put it in the fridge, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna dress it in before the breadcrumbs. So to help coat our arancini in breadcrumbs, instead of doing flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs, this is something I learned while I was in Sicily. This is just all-purpose flour. Then a little bit of salt. And all we're gonna do is add water until it hits like pancake consistency batter. So not too thin, not too thick. And then we roll the arancini in there and then roll them in our breadcrumbs, and it saves you a step. A little bit thinner. Perfect. Whenever you're frying, this is why frying is so bad for you. Whenever you're frying, the amount of salt it takes to season things is also amazing. So we put a lot of salt in this one also. All right, so there it is. Not too thin, not too thick, right in between. And that is also gonna go into the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. Then we'll pull everything out, roll our balls, bread them, and fry them. All right, so now for rolling, I have here just a little bowl of water. Put a little bit of water on your hands. Grab your cooled risotto. And I like to do them in between a golf ball and a baseball. So about that size. We should get about 10 of them. Maybe, somewhere around there. Now a lot of times arancini, what they do is that they'll make the ball like this, poke a hole in it, and then put a chunk of mozzarella cheese in the middle. I don't think we're going that crazy on these. We're gonna leave them like this. But pretty much any kind of risotto you could think of, that's what you can make arancini out of. So, you know, I've seen pesto, I've seen dessert arancini. I've seen everything you can imagine. Squid ink arancini, pretty amazing. All right, so we have our 10 rolled there. So swap this out. And now what I have here is the slurry we made with just all-purpose flour and water. And then I have breadcrumbs. I mixed a little bit of panko and seasoned breadcrumbs, half and half. So now all you do, drop these guys into our slurry. And then into the breadcrumbs. Okay. Got a boat coming down the canal here. And a cute dog. How's it going? So there is our breaded arancini. Now that's ready for the deep fryer. I'll put that aside. We'll finish these up and then we'll get our oil. I want my oil at about 375. Actually, a little bit higher than 375 because I'm going to do 3 of these at a time. And that's going to bring that temp down. So I want the oil about 380. And then on the side here, I have a plate with just paper towel. When they come out, we'll roll them on the paper towel. That'll take out all the excess oil to make sure that they're nice and crispy. But they take probably about 5-6 minutes. And you also, I don't want them too hot to where the breadcrumbs turn dark brown and then my middle is still cold. Because remember, we brought that risotto down to a chill. So I want it just a medium temp so that they fry nice and golden brown. And that middle definitely gets hot. It's also important to have your oil at 375 because if you put them in and your oil is too cold, what ends up happening is that it just soaks up the oil and then you have greasy, horrible fried food. So also to help yourself out in between batches, I do a small pot just so that I don't have to use that much vegetable oil. And I don't know if I mentioned that, inside here is just vegetable oil. It was a little bit dark because we actually fried with it last night. I strained it and I'm using it again. But in between batches, give your oil a minute to catch up a little bit and to come back up to temp. Don't throw in the next batch right away. You can definitely see where they get their name from. Arancini, little oranges. That's what they look like. Last batch is almost done. And the other thing when frying to keep in mind, the color that you want. Now, bear with me with this. You want to take them out when they're a little bit lighter than the color you want. Meaning, if you want a brown like this, when they're in here, you got to take them out and they have to be a little bit lighter than that. When you put them on here, they are going to get darker as they sit. So if you brought them to this color, by the time they sat for a little while, they'd be really dark brown. But we wanted that golden color. I think my propane is running out just in time because the flame's a little bit low. But that couldn't have happened at a better time. All right.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
They literally look perfect. Wow.
All right, I got my taste testers here just in time. Madeline pulled up. Aaron just got home from work.
Look at freaking tuna. Caught red
Oh,
handed.
hey there.
All right, you're taller than me, so I don't know if you'll be in frame. Stand there for a second. Let me see.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, you guys stay there.
I'm barefoot.
All right.
Pearl, you're never in the videos.
I know. No one knows who Pearl is.
All right, so a while ago, Aaron actually asked me to make these for his birthday, and we didn't.
No one cares about my feelings.
But here you go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
All right,
babe.
so the
Cheers.
trick is crack them open first because they are molten lava in the middle.
We never seem to learn our lesson about
I'm
that.
always so impressed how firm they are, like how well they hold together.
They look perfect. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hold on, I don't even know what's in them. I'm sure it's gonna taste great.
Louisiana dried shrimp,
Mmm.
and apparently a lot of red pepper.
Oh my.
Mm.
So good.
They're so good.
Wow.
The second you eat it, you can feel the nap coming. Like
I was just gonna say you better have a nap scheduled.
they are heavy, but they're oh my god, they're so good.
That shrimp is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Perfect use.
Big thank you to Brent. Big thank you for being a good sport. I know your trip got canceled, and you still brought us the shrimp. I hope I did you proud,
Do
man.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
These
Yeah.
are incredible.
Yeah, these are good.
All right, guys. If you like this episode, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
The heat is perfect.
Right amount of spice.
Mm-hmm.
Good Pearl.